Good morning, good Friday morning. You ready for the weekend? You're ready to peel the clothes off? It's going to be hot. So if you thought summer was over, think again. We're going to talk about the hot weekend and even hotter into next week coming up for you in just a couple of minutes. We're also going to do a little news you can use. We'll get into some Cardinals sports news, and soon I'm going to start incorporating football, a lot of preseason for the NFL, college football. I tell you what, shout out to your alma mater in this show. I'm going to say MIZ, and someone would say ZOU for me, as I went to Mizzou. My husband, however, went to Auburn. So we're all about War Eagle as well as MIZ ZOU in this household. If you have a favorite team, let's show some school spirit, high school as well as collegiate. It's fun. This is actually one of my favorite times of year as we get into fall football season. I love fall fashion. You tell me what's your favorite season. We'll do a little interaction. We're also going to feature someone local, Nathanael Hirst. He actually went to school with one of our interns, Ashlyn Cross, who's moderating for you today. We're going to feature Nate. He is in Hamilton. And if you haven't seen Hamilton, it's going to be at the Fabulous Fox Theater starting next week on Wednesday. We're going to talk about where you can get tickets, and you don't want to miss it. Remember, when it came through last time, truly one of the hottest tickets in town. It was difficult to get tickets to see Hamilton. Well, the tickets are available right now, but I wouldn't wait on this because I believe, just like last time, it's going to be the same thing all over again where people are rushing to get tickets. Sometimes they do those lotteries where you can get tickets maybe the day of and they discount them. So look into that possibility as well. But I would tell you to take your friends, your family, maybe the first introduction to the arts. This would be a good one. Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's the background, just like in the Heights, we were telling you, the tie to Lin-Manuel Miranda. You're going to have that fast delivery and that energy and excitement, all about the life of Alexander Hamilton. So that's all coming up for you on this morning's edition of The Real Monica Adams Show. But before we do all of that, let's talk weather. I just mentioned it was going to be a hot one, so you're going to be saying, what the weather?
Alrighty, welcome back into this new more weather forecast video. This one has been looking significant for a couple of days. So
good morning to you.
Good morning, Monica.
Finally.
Nice to be here.
And I'm not going to do the weather today. He is. It's our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You know, we talked about fall right around the corner, but it is not going to feel like that anytime soon. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I promise to follow up to see how your first official freshman year of high school is going.
Yeah, it's been great so far. Loving my classes, meeting new people, making friends, and it's just been awesome so far.
Well, I actually drove by the other day and was waving. Did you see me wave?
No, I did not.
I'm just kidding. I did. I drove by. I had an appointment and I was like, oh, Beckett's over there. He's in school. So I know you were looking forward to new friends. You also were talking about your favorite subjects for people who haven't seen you yet. You said geography and history.
Yes.
Are you enjoying that so far?
Yes, I am.
Is there anything that surprised you that you didn't think, wow, I actually enjoy this as well?
Well, actually, we do have activity period where, like, for 25 minutes, we can go into any classroom and just hang out with friends. So that's fun.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited to hear how the first year goes as we talk over here over the next few months. But let's get right to the weather. Again, it's going to be a hot one and even kind of dangerously hot into next week. So go ahead and give us what we are expecting first this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. This is kind of our last near average, maybe a little bit below average day. We've been dealing with temperatures that have been feeling like fall, but we're getting back into those summer temperatures this weekend and into next week. Now, right now, we got a temperature around 60 degrees, a little chilly out there, actually. Dew point around 53, and that's very nice, not really humid at all. 3-mile-per-hour winds. Sunset tonight will be at 7:43, and looking a beautiful morning there. Sunny skies at Fairmont Park, where tomorrow there will be the FanDuel St. Louis Derby, so maybe you want to go check that out. But today, again, 60 degrees here in the morning, sunny skies. Then into the afternoon, a high of around 90 degrees with a couple more clouds moving in, but still mostly sunny. Now, moving on to the 7-day outlook. Again, high of 90 today, mostly sunny skies. Low tonight, 73. Tomorrow, we do start warming up Saturday and Sunday. Some more clouds, mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow for our Saturday. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with 94. And that's when we really start warming up as we head into next week. Monday and Tuesday in the upper 90s, possibly getting to around 100. So make sure you want to take those proper heat precautions, stay hydrated, avoid those strenuous activities, and just make sure especially to wear sunscreen as well, and check on the elderly. We do cool down as we head towards late next week, but still going to definitely be a hot start to the week. And we're not going to be out of those, hot temperatures. They're back.
No kidding. I mean, I think a lot of us thought, and I remember asking Beckett, and this is why, because if you live in St. Louis or any, surrounding area, this is how it is, the up and down. So here we had fall-like weather already, and everyone's like, oh, I guess it's over with. My husband actually said Beckett the other day, okay, it's probably time to close the pool. I'm like, oh, no, I will be in the pool next week.
Yeah, I think it was a little taste of false fall.
And before you go, I want to ask this. So one of my clients said that they saw a local meteorologist in his report maybe a week or so ago talking about fall's forecast. And have you heard this, that they're saying that it's almost going to feel like we're going to bypass fall and get into winter much earlier? Are you kind of foreseeing that already?
I actually have not looked into that, and I haven't heard that, but that's definitely interesting. I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, if you can do that for us, because I would love to see, maybe we can have Beckett do kind of fall predictions looking ahead. Obviously, your school is the most important thing. So if you have time next week or the following week, start looking into that for us and let us know what you're seeing, because that does not make me happy. I do not want winter anytime soon.
Yeah, we need a little bit buffering period with fall.
Yeah, one season at a time, dang it. All right, Becca. Well, thank you so much. Have a good final first week of school today.
You're welcome. See you on Monday.
All righty, that's aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. Yeah, have any of you heard that? I am not happy about that. I love, if I have to pick a season, and all of you can let me know what's your favorite. Fall is mine, followed probably by summer. I love, I'm loving being by the pool. And I do want to tell you, for those that have pools right now, or again, if you're thinking of getting a pool put in for maybe next year, that now, and somebody asked me about this, were they going to have an end of season sale at Just Pools? Well, the answer is yes. 50% off what you're seeing right there. All the fun toys, the flotations, the noodles, all those fun things, 50% off, not 30, now 50% off. So go stock up for this year, especially for next week, and then maybe for the next couple of weeks before we get into fall and into winter. When that transition happens, then you might want one of those. Doesn't that look nice? They are the pool and spa specialists at Just Pools. And I know they've been starting to get in some more new ones as they get ready, like we all are, for the transition of the season. We also have 10% off of the winterizing kits. And I know we just talked about winter, not really wanting to do that yet, but it is around the corner, so you might as well be prepared for it. If you want to start thinking of building your backyard oasis, maybe do a little bit here into the fall and then get ready into next year. Remember, I would say this is what we do. We like to stock up on everything you need so that you're not scrambling next year when we start to open those pools in maybe March, April, May. Just Pools. We love them, and I know you do as well. Madonna and her staff, thank you so much for being a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. It's Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist, again, on the West Outer Road in Arnold. Welcome aboard. Let me say hi, and straight out of the gate, answer any questions, little shout outs to people maybe talking about their schools, as I mentioned. Linda, good morning to you. Julie, good morning. Ashlyn, good morning. Thank you for being up and moderating for us. Julie, Fabian, good morning, friends. Kathy says, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, as well as Kathleen Morris. Love fall, not looking forward to the heat again. Diane, good morning. Luann, good morning. And Marilyn, spring, because that leads to summer. Marilyn says that's her favorite. Good morning, everyone, from Debbie. We've got Sean saying good morning. Love Beckett. What a professional he is. I know, right? I love fall, then spring, says Kathleen. Kathy says, I love fall. And Sarah, well, hi, Sarah. We're going to see you in just a couple of hours if you're at the office. Sarah saying she loves fall as well. So yes, go ahead and shout out. Tell me what your favorite season is. And if you want, you can say why it's your favorite season. For me, fall for fashion, for football, for bonfires, for the colors that are all around us, the beauty and nature of how beautiful, if the leaves were to stay on the trees, I should say, because I'm not a fan when they fall. Probably my least favorite chore to do is raking leaves. Not a fan of that at all. Joe, good morning to you. And so Michelle said Just Pools still has a bunch of pool toys available. Yeah, she was there yesterday and she got 2 giant noodles for 50% off. Are you going to bring those over to my house before summer wraps up? I hope so. It's 7:10. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll do some news you can use as well as some sports news. And then we'll get into featuring Nathanael Hirst, Nate, as he is called by his friends. So proud of him. He is going to be on the stage at the fabulous Fox Theater, and he'll be in Hamilton. Sarah says, my cold clothes are much cuter than my warm clothes. Yeah, who doesn't love boots? I do. I would say my favorite fashion. I wasn't really ever big into summer. I think some cute clothes came out just this past year I was a little bit happier with. Debbie says fall, then summer, spring, winter. Yep, I think I would agree with that one. Michelle said she can't wait for fall boots. I know. I've been starting to lay out fall clothes already. And since we've had chilly weather, I've kind of been wearing it already. My closet's all so very confused that it's trying to split between the 2 seasons. Tell me if you're right there with us. We're going to check around to the other platforms. Remember, we're on Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, and Instagram. So if you have friends that you are sharing the show with and they are not on Facebook, and a lot of people will say, I'm not on Facebook. That's why we're on other platforms just for you. And if you would like to become a sponsor, like so many incredible people have, special thanks to Regional Dermatology. We love Dr. Sarah Jensen. She's coming in on Monday. Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa. We were just there yesterday. I hope you saw. We were joined by Dr. Tyler and did a little chiropractic care on the rescues that are there. Defiance Ridge Vineyards. We just went to the Camus Wine Dinner, and oh my gosh, was that amazing. Thank you to Chuck, Just Pools and Arnold, My Pillow, and we are adding Elemental Aesthetics. She's joining us in just a couple of weeks. Can't wait to introduce you to Jennifer Warman Bloss, and more and more and more. We had some big meetings yesterday. If you know someone that would like to align with our mission, be a part of our team, just reach out to me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, whether it is a monthly sponsorship or a mobile Monica where we pick it up, bring the show to you, and get a heck of a lot, I should say, thousands and thousands of eyes on your business, and we get to hear about what you're providing to the world. So there's a lot of exciting things to come. I'll tell you about some big shows coming up in September and October where I would love to see you, because a lot of people always say that they want to be a part of the show. They want to be able to see everything that takes place. Well, we'll let you know about that coming up in just minutes.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And thank you to Michelle Harmon, again, working behind the scenes like my incredible crew. We have Ashlyn Cross moderating, Kelsey Oglesby. She does the same. They do a lot of editing work, as well as Hannah Ledford, who just joined us. Zach, of course. Kimball is our director. And then we have Jenny Egan, who just joined our team yesterday. And I could not be more thrilled with what I have built around me, because they are the ones that truly make the magic happen behind the scenes. And I love them for that. Okay, we promise you that you don't have to turn on the news any longer. You don't have to even have the negativity that could possibly come out of the anchor's mouths of you getting so disheartened by different aspects of what's going on in the world. I want you to know certain things, and we'll find a way out of it. But for the most part, we just kind of want to bring you aware of things that are going on. And I promise, just like with the Republican National Convention, that we would balance it out. I always want to give you the balance of life and tell you the key takeaways from day 4 of the Democratic National Convention. On the final night, Kamala Harris made history as the first Black woman and first Asian American to accept a major party's nomination for president. So it is now official. Among the major speakers taking the stage were Elizabeth Warren, Al Sharpton, Adam Kinzinger, a Republican former congressman who voted to impeach Donald Trump and sat on the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin spoke of the importance of preserving Social Security while offering her endorsement of the Harris waltz ticket. And I didn't get a chance to see this. I wish I would have. One of my all-time favorite singers who was just in town, she was at the DNC with her daughter performing. They perform a lot together. Pink and daughter Willow performing a duet of What About Us at the 2024 DNC last night. Pink, of course, as I said, has a history of performing with her daughter Willow at various events, including the 2021 Billboard Music Awards. Pink's been vocal about her political views, supporting causes like free speech and LGBTQ plus rights. So those were the key takeaways from day 4 of the Democratic National Convention. If you watched it, let me know what the takeaways were for you from days 1 through day 4. And now it's all about, trust me, you'll see tons and tons of political ads over the next couple of months. But the biggest thing is, be kind to each other, keep an open mind, listen to both sides, ultimately choose wisely when you go to the polls, be educated and research to the nth degree. That's the best thing that you can do as the voting public. And if you do not go and exercise your right, please stop arguing with people online or in person and bullying people. We just got to, again, find our way to kindness and accept, because at that point, it's the fact that people exercise their right to vote, and you got to accept what happens for the next 4 years. But again, get out and vote, vote, vote. All right, I found this one. This is kind of the talker of the day. Quite funny. Police flooded with offers to help after a truck spills cases of beer in a college town. So any of you know anyone that goes to Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss? Many people appeared ready to pitch in. This is when you all start to help the police. When a truck spilled cases of beer, the police department in Oxford reported a roadway was closed after an 18-wheeler lost some of its load on Wednesday, spilling boxes of beer. In this photo, which was shared by the police department on Facebook, cases of Natural Light, Bud Light, Corona, Michelob Ultra, Modelo, all seen covering the street and the sidewalk. I mean, come on. The college kids had to be like, oh my gosh, it's a heyday. It's not our birthday. It's not a holiday, is it? The department said, and no, you cannot come help clean it up. However, the comment section on the Facebook post disagreed. One comment said, I mean, it could get cleaned up faster with some assistance. I've never turned down free help. The University of Mississippi Ole Miss, located, of course, in Oxford, students already on campus, of course, moving in. They had started that on August 14th. Many in the comments were astonished that there weren't swarms of students coming to the department's rescue. One comment said, frat house could have had that cleaned up before police arrived. Many others offered their own assistance in cleaning up after the mess. They only asked for a few cases in return for their good service. Can you imagine? You just come driving up and we've got all of these frat houses and sororities are like, oh my gosh, they're loading us up for it. So there's your fun talker of the day. So no, they didn't get a chance to get any free beer. All right, how about those Cardinals? A couple in a row now, big wins. They have a 3-0 win from yesterday against Milwaukee. That was an afternoon game. And so it's the Cardinals and the Twins on tap tonight. First pitch will be at 7:10. And then tomorrow, the first pitch will be at 8:10. Again, go Cardinals. I know, I'm sorry, tomorrow's actually 6:10. Put my glasses on. 6 and 8 look the same. Cardinals, I know a lot of people have been up and down with the season, frustrated and then happy and frustrated and then happy. So we'll see. We were telling you the other day how far back they were in the division and how far back in the wild card race. But as long as there's still a possibility, you got to hold out hope. All right, it is 7:19. So that's some of the news you can use, a little sports news. As I mentioned, I'm going to start slipping in and incorporating some football as they are getting ready to wrap up preseason, and the official season for the NFL is very close. Any of you going to any college football games this year? As I mentioned earlier, feel free to shout out your alma mater. It is 7:19. I'm going to take a quick break, and when we return, yep, I see I'm on, we're going to interview Nathanael Hirst. Now, Nate is from our area, went to Belleville West High School with our own Ashlyn Cross, and we're going to be visiting with him about his role on stage next week at the Fabulous Fox Theater with Hamilton.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.
This is my wonderful role model, one of my best friends.
She said, oh my gosh, you got a long life. You could probably live to be 130 or something. And I said, oh God, I hope not.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
I'm not going to take off my clothes. On the radio tape, going to
Kansas City, Kansas City, here I come. We're gonna speak. We're not gonna spank anybody. We're gonna speak about knowing your value. And then I'm gonna
I'm going to spank them.
if you don't know your value and you don't grab hold of how important you are, I'm gonna spank you. Folks, you never know what you're gonna get with her. So that's a segment that we were asked to start with my beautiful mother, Jackie. And I also have heard a lot of people say, when we ask you about guests and maybe different topics you would like us to discuss, I always hear, have more segments with your mom and have more segments with your husband, Jim. And I will do just that. Okay, before we get into our interview, Marilyn says Frozen. Linda says, love the fall clothes and boots also. Second favorite season. Billy, good morning. Summer for her. Diane says, I love raking leaves. Okay, you can come on over here. I've been known to rake leaves even at night with a headband headlight on without, because I can hear the crunch of the leaves. Oh my gosh, I like to keep a leafless lawn. Well, yes, I do too. I don't like the leaves all over the place. I just don't like doing it. Janet says she loves fall, love the colors of the trees and the cooler weather, and that you could start wearing sweatshirts, but I hate winter. So everything I can't stand with winter. We have to change the time and then it gets dark early. She says hi to everyone in Kirkwood. Yeah, you can let us know where you're watching from. Diane says she loves fall. And Michelle and your team, awesome. And you, of course. Stephanie, good morning. I like spring and fall. I hate winter. Kathleen, Pink and her daughter did a great job. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm going to see if I can see a video of that. Ashlyn says, Pink, you rock. Kathy says, Oprah. What is that tied to? Darn it. See, we talk about so many things. Thank you, Diane. You are awesome as well. Yeah, my team is really amazing. Okay, so Kathleen Moore says, SEMO is my alma mater. Yeah, go ahead. Over the next several weeks, go ahead and shout out where you went to school. I would love for you to bring attention to your school. Be proud of it. My husband attended Belleville West, Linda says, and I attended Oakville High School in Illinois. Isn't that where the springs are? There's like this really cool hotel there that I went with my aunts. Yes, very small school, big in basketball, state champs a few times. No college for us. All right, before we get to our interview, I want to remind you about a couple of big shows coming up. So come out and see us with our mobile Monicas. And again, we are talking about booking more and more, as you see going across the screen here. Our next one will be on September 12th at the Landing Hub. This is in Pacific, Missouri. It is a really cool boutique hotel that's been there a few years. And we're going to sit down and visit with the owners, Shane and Jennifer. You see that on the left side? That is actually from Trump's Taj Mahal in Vegas. They have this incredible inside when you walk in. That's one of them. The first thing you'll see, though, is that little pilot airplane for the kids. And the kids love this hotel. So if you want a staycation for your families, they love the Star Wars rooms. There is a really cool pool on the outside, so many things that we'll be showing you. It's going to be from 4:30 to 6, and then we're going to leave and we're going to head just about a mile down the street. We're going to go over pretty much downtown Pacific, Missouri, and we're going to go to their second location. If you can, stick around and come to the Cigar Vault. Really one of the coolest places that I've ever seen for people who love cigars. That's my husband lighting up one for himself. If you're not a cigar smoker, it's okay. Come. You can sit outside, grab a drink. This is the inside. Julie behind the bar there. They have treated us so well, and we haven't even done the show yet, but we love them. And you can come by and listen for the train, because it is a train town, and talk about the history of Route 66. So that one is September 12th. And then our big, big, big celebration for our 400th show is coming up. That will be October 4th. I was just visiting with Tiffany the other day, 5:30 to 7 p.m. And we are going to raise money for first responders, responder rescue, backstoppers, great organizations that step in for our first responders when they are injured or, God forbid, killed in the line of duty. And that woman's got a heart of gold and a beautiful place, by the way. It's called the Watering Hole, affiliated with the farm, Circle 6. This is the outside look for you. We're going to have music, so they're still lining up a band. We are going to have, obviously, incredible food. I'm calling it badges, bourbon, and beef. What do you think about that? We're going to have amazing giveaways at both of those. In fact, the one in Pacific, I'm talking about thousands of dollars of something that we're going to be giving away. It's a secret right now, but we'll start to sprinkle that information in soon. So mark it on the calendar. Two big things for you. Again, first of all, September 12th, then October 4th. And we're lining up more in the latter part of October into November, so we can start talking to your business. If you are interested, you want to get with us now, because we are really booking up the calendar for the next several months. Just start thinking about friends and family that have businesses that you think align with us. We would love to see you as a part of it. All right, everybody, it's time to focus on the arts. So I told you he went to school at Belleville West High School with our own Ashlyn Cross. And we want to thank Megan Ketcherside from the Fabulous Fox for hooking us up with this interview. Let's bring him on. Nathanael Hirst talking about Hamilton at the Fox next week. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. You know, if you have followed me all these years I've been in television and radio, I am so big into the arts, and we are so blessed with the talent that we have that comes through town and the talent that's in our town that we get to see showcased on the stage. And I was telling all of you that we're excited to showcase one of them that actually has a tie to one of my interns from SIUE. She actually went to school with him and was in choir with him. So let's bring him on. Nathanael Hirst, or she said Nate. So can I call you Nate?
Yeah, sure, please.
How are you? Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. So you and Ashlyn were in choir together, is that right, at Belleville West?
Yes, we attended Belleville West High School together and we did concert choir together. That was first hour of the day.
I love that. Can you give me any dirt on her?
No, she was always so sweet.
Yes, you know what? And that hasn't changed. So we're actually going to look through some pictures while we visit with Nate from going through school and the dream and the support of those behind you. Because really, that's the thing that we always talk about on the show, Nate, is that we couldn't do the things that we do in life if it wasn't for who we surround ourselves with. So as you see some of these pictures, I just kind of want you to take me back to where kind of the dream of everything began and the supports of the people behind you. So for you to get into the arts, when did it all begin for you?
So I really got into the arts actually pretty young. Both of my parents are singers, and we all just kind of gravitated into that. We all were in a choir of some sort. We all did some type of band. And then I started doing shows with my mom right before fifth grade. And then that carried into middle school because my mom was also helping direct the shows at MG Junior High. And then I kind of got, once I got into high school is when I started to really, really focus on it. because it had been fun, but I never really thought that I would do it as a career. But then I went to New York for the first time when I was 16, and it changed something in me, and I came back and I was a completely different person.
And so it ignited a passion in you?
Yes, yes, because I saw um a show called Newsies,
Mhm.
and it was a bunch of guys around my age who were just doing all these incredible jumps and flips and turns and everything. It was such an athletic show. And I read and I saw YouTube videos that said that some of those people were my age in that show on Broadway
Mhm.
and were actually graduating high school on stage. And I thought, "Oh, well, I mean, if they can do it, then why can't I?"
That's
Says the
right.
person who has, no real training. Um, so yeah.
That's so true. And if you're just tuning in, once again, we're talking to Nate or Nathanael Hirst, who is from our area, and you're going to get a chance to see him on stage with Hamilton. If you didn't see Hamilton the last time it came through, do not miss it. Get your tickets, because this is one of those shows that you're going to be talking about, not just the night of, not this the next morning, but for years and years to come. The production is just top notch. And you're talking about being a kid, Nate. I have been going to the Fox and the Muni for that matter, since I was just a little girl, probably 5 or 6 years old, and it's never stopped for me. And we always have those iconic shows that you never stop talking about. This is one of them. For those that have not seen Hamilton the last time it came through, can you tell them from being in it why they cannot miss the show?
Because it honestly, to me, just transcends time. It's you get a different experience every time you go see it. I mean, we do the same choreography, we sing the same songs, nothing really changes, but it's so real and it connects so well with just humanity and who we are as people that you can find different things that speak to you throughout the show. Like you might be going through something personally very hard. So the song Hurricane in the second act, where Hamilton is talking about all the trials and tribulations that he went through and how he got himself out of them, that might really speak to you. Or My Shot, whenever they're talking about standing up for themselves and beginning a revolution that created the country that we have today.
Mhm.
Um, or even Quiet Uptown, if you're going through something very hard with your family or with your friends, you can find something every single time that you see it that really speaks to you.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. And I almost think sometimes that the media has done it a disservice, because there are people who will describe it and say, okay, so it plays out the life of Alexander Hamilton, but it's all done in hip hop. That is not true, because I think there are
Yeah.
people who think, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to understand rap and how fast it's delivered. The punctuation, the passion that's delivered, I understand every single word. Now, granted, I love music and I love all genres of music, so I get it. But can you stress, Nate, for people of young ages all the way up older, that will be able to understand this? And it's not just hip hop and rap.
Yeah, it's not just hip hop and rap. It's literally just like if you were in a history oh, if you had a really cool history professor and they decided to read from the textbook and just rhyme everything. It's it's nothing, it's just storytelling. Um, it's it's not like, I guess you could say, like typical rap, where you might not understand the words that people are saying. But this is all just real. It's essentially conversation.
Mhm.
It sounds like a conversation, especially when you read the lyrics. It's like, oh, these are people just literally talking back and forth, but they just so happen to be rhyming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, if you haven't seen it, it opens up on August 28th. It will run through September 8th. Tickets are available, but we say this, and then all of a sudden you try to get your tickets and you've waited too long. Don't do that. It was one of the
No.
hardest tickets to get in town when it came through last time. Again, it is presented, by the way, by the Fox Performing Arts Charitable Foundation. Ticket prices start at $39, and there are evening shows, there are matinee shows. revolutionary story of passion. We mentioned that word. It's one of my favorite words. Unstoppable ambition and the dawn of a new nation. It's the epic saga that follows the rise of founding father Alexander Hamilton as he fights for honor, for love, and a legacy that would shape the course of a nation. If you had to pick, and it's almost like when a parent's asked
Oh
to pick their
no.
favorite kid,
Oh no.
if you have to pick a favorite song from Hamilton, what is it?
Oh, honestly, well, favorite song to dance would have to be Yorktown, the Battle of Yorktown, of course, or My Shot. But my favorite songs to listen to would have to be Wait For It
Oh, that's a good one.
and Hurricane,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually.
I
Because
just go ahead.
because I mean, Hurricane, it's not it's not the like biggest like song in the show by any means, but I feel like it's the most real and it's the one that I connect with the most. So whenever I'm on stage, listening to it every night, because for the ensemble of Hamilton, we're on stage a lot more than almost any other ensemble I've ever seen.
Yep.
So during the song Hurricane, I'm on the stage. And I just kind of get to sit there and take that story of that song in every single night. And it just reminds me of what I went through to get to where I am.
Well, and as you look at these videos and these pictures, it's all about who we surround ourselves with. If anybody doesn't understand that and you're all about me, I, entitlement, all of that, you're you're missing out on life because you are not
Absolutely.
who you are unless someone has lifted you up and you've lifted them up. What does this look like to you when you see these pictures and these videos? What do these people mean to you?
It means the absolute world to me. There are so many people actually um in my cast who have done the show for a long time that since I started really following the show and studying the show, I've wanted to work with and I admired them. And then getting to be with them in person and seeing their passion and their drive and their willingness to be so open to help the newcomers like me into the show and help me understand what it is that I'm now a part of. Um, it just brings me so much gratitude and joy to see these people.
Absolutely. Again, if you're just tuning in, the Real Monica Adams Show, we're visiting with Nathanael Hirst, Nate, and you're going to be able to see him on stage for Hamilton. But I hated that I didn't get a chance to see you come through. You actually are just a few months off of wrapping up Aladdin. I mean, iconic stage production after iconic stage production.
Yeah, that was when I booked Aladdin and I saw that they were coming to St. Louis. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna finally happen. I'm gonna perform at the Fox," which is crazy to say that I got to do that. And then when I was there, it was amazing to see so many family members and so many friends and get to share this success with them. But I also had a feeling that I remember thinking during our last show, I remember thinking, I'm gonna be back here. I don't know when, and I don't know like in what capacity or with what show, but I know that I'm gonna be back on this stage at some point, and it is less than a year later.
It's so powerful. I don't know if you believe in manifestation, putting it out
For
there.
sure.
Obviously, it's a lot of blood, sweat, tears. If you're faith based, prayer, all of
Mhm.
that. So when someone wants something and they see these people, they go as a young child or they go for the first time as an adult and think, boy, I wish I could have done that. What would you say to the people who still have that drive and desire in them, like you did, and then you made it happen for yourself?
I would say go for it. I mean, there's I find that there's so much source material that kind of goes unused that could propel you a lot further than you think it could.
Hmm.
For example, there is a Hamilton podcast called the Hamilcast,
Love it.
and it's just a fan of the show who started this podcast, and she has since interviewed Lin-Manuel Miranda, Andy Blankenbuehler, our choreographer, Tommy Kail, our director, Alex Lacamoire, and it's hours and hours of content about what the show means, why the show was written the way that it was written. Um, and so if so you could take that for to just use Hamilton as an example. If you wanted to say be a musical theater and Hamilton was a dream show of yours,
Mhm.
if you listened to all of those interviews or just went to YouTube um, and listened to them talk about the show, when you go into the audition, you have a better understanding than probably most people, because a lot of people might think, oh, like it's a really popular show, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Yeah.
so like of course I want to be a part of this because it's super popular. But if you actually get into like why things are the way that they are, there's a reason it took so long to create this show. I believe it took almost 8 years to
Wow.
finally open it on Broadway, because it wasn't even meant to be a musical. Um, but I would say go for it and do all the research that you possibly can.
Yep.
I know that, especially from being from the St. Louis area, um, I mean, we have the Muni and we have the Fox, but we're definitely not like the New York kids who grow up like
Immersed.
around going to
Yeah.
going to Broadway Dance Center or Steps on Broadway and being next to all of these powerful master classes where you can learn so much. Um, so, but I always feel that those who start at a little bit of a disadvantage,
Mhm.
seemingly, um, the drive and the dedication that it takes for you to get somewhere, once you get to that place, people are going to recognize that. And it doesn't matter where you trained or like necessarily who you know, I guess. But once you get into that room, they're gonna say, there's something different about this person. This person has fought so hard
Mhm.
to be here in whatever facet of life that may be. It might not even be theater. It
Right.
could be for a job interview that you really, really want. If you study your butt off and you go into that interview and you know their manual like back to front,
Yep.
and you know their policies, and you know the managers and everything like that, they're going to be very impressed with you.
Amen. Nate, you are preaching to the choir. I try to teach this when I go in. And by the way, I want to thank Nate, because if you follow him, and I highly recommend you do so on Instagram, on Facebook, on all the socials, you will see the passion play out in him. You'll also see how he's not about himself, but he wants to give back. You actually posted a while back, hey, I'm going to be in St. Louis. Let me work with the kids. Let me give back, right? Because you had someone that gave you an opportunity and you want to do so. Do you still have openings for these master classes that you're working with students?
Yes. So, if they would like to reach out to me, if anyone would like to reach out to me, my email is nathanielhirst@gmail.com. Um, I do have a few openings. I'm just kind of open to uh scheduling something as my schedule fits.
I love it.
But yeah, I personally there I think that there's something so special about like the kids from St. Louis. Um, I I can't explain it, but I know and I've seen so many talented people and so many talented kids in the younger generation that I feel might need that little extra boost of reassurance to see that it is possible. Because I mean, when I was younger, I mean, I guess you could say I was operating on just kind of like um um blissful like ignorance, because I was like, I mean, if those 16-year-olds can do it, then I can do it. But I did also have those moments of thinking, well, I didn't grow up in New York. I didn't grow up in these like other major cities where they have significantly more resources. Um, so I felt that there at times that there was like really no point because I didn't have that. but I did get to, I gave a little kind of like commencement speech for a friend at her high school, for her theater kids. And she told me that the kids felt so inspired because they saw someone who also did not, who was kind of in their same situation of not having all the resources, and they were
Mhm.
like, oh, so it is possible.
Right, so
Not,
it
and
can
I,
happen.
yeah, it can
Yep.
happen. And that's not to say that it's not hard,
Right.
but it can.
So that is the message I want you to hear from Nate. And it is, yes, some people might be born into something. Some people might be able to have all these connections that you have. If you don't have that, and it doesn't even say that it definitely can happen at that point, but if you don't have that, you might have to fight even harder. I read this and I want you to listen as I read
Mhm.
these words from Nate. He said, I started this journey in 2016, a general audition for dancers for a show I hadn't seen or really heard of that much. However, after that first audition and singing callback where I forgot every word to my song, I was hooked. I started researching everything I could about the show and studied endlessly. Something about the show spoke to me in a way no other show has before, although I didn't understand it yet. Fast forward to this year, 2024, 8 years of auditions, callbacks later in the airport, the call came. I was instantly shot back in time to 10 years ago when I first came to New York City for a project and saw my first Broadway show and how that altered my life. I remembered all the late nights of copying YouTube videos in my living room, attempting to do pirouettes and toe touches on my carpet in my socks. I remembered all the times I would take a stereo outside to the backyard and attempt tricks that I saw other dancers do online, or go to the church and just drill the audition combination for hours. This is bigger than just booking a dream show. This is years of training myself for hours daily to catch up to those who had been training their whole lives. This is for the community in my hometown that supported me and literally donated money for me to buy a plane ticket to get to an audition because I didn't have any money. This is for my family that was there for me and cheered me on at my performances, for my high school teachers and coaches who saw something in me and constantly pushed me to get better, for my friends who were always there for me in my times of self-doubt and helped me back up and onto the path again. I couldn't have done this without all of you, and I can't wait to share this amazing work with everyone. This is for us. We did it. I applaud you, and I have chills as I read that out loud because
I
truly,
did too, and I wrote that.
I love it because that's it. That is the American dream. That's the blood, the sweat, the tears, all the hard work. It pays off. And when we say this on the show every single time, you got to put it in, but you've also got to believe in yourself. And when other people don't believe in you, don't let them squash your dreams. I mean, here is Nate playing in Hamilton. What a dream come true. And there's where you can see him, August 28th through September 8th. When he started this journey, it was in 2016. Watch this video and we'll come back and bring it home. Wow. It just, does that bring you to tears? I mean, there's so much in that. You describe for me what you see when you watch that. You put it together.
Yeah. I it it has brought me to tears, and whenever you were reading the caption that I wrote for it, I was on the verge of tears. And I held it together just for a little bit. But I don't know. I It almost doesn't. Of course, I remember it, and I remember being in my living room, and I remember all the training that I put myself through. Um, but it just sometimes I actually still feel like I'm like dreaming. I'm in a very lucid dream. Um, because it's something that I've wanted for so long and I fought so hard for. And that so many people have been with me on this journey. And now whenever I like go home, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're in this show now." It's like, but that doesn't there's no way but um but I do one thing that I do um love about it is it's a constant reminder of where I came from
Mhm.
and what I went through, because I think that sometimes you can sometimes people can get comfortable, um and they can find success in something, and then they'll be like, okay, well, work's done. I made it, so I'm
Yep.
done. Um,
Never done. It's
no,
always what's next, right? You
you
can't, I mean, if you sit
no,
on your laurels and think, "All right, I've made it," then someone's just waiting there on that ladder to knock you off because they're gonna work harder, they're hungrier. You can never, ever slow it down.
no, and and that's and that's not to say that like don't take a break when you need to, of course, but
Absolutely.
you need to constantly
Hone your craft.
hone your craft.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just it keeps me from getting stale. It keeps me
Yes.
from getting um complacent.
Mhm.
And because I feel that I would be doing a disservice to myself and to the other people who believed in me
Mhm.
to just kind of like throw that away.
Sure, and to the people that you surround yourself with, to your cast, to the
Mm,
audience, it's all of that. We always talk about always doing your best. The strive for perfection is a dangerous thing because we're imperfect human beings, but all anybody can ever ask is that you bring your A game, that you always do your best. And if you look back and Nate will look at his performance and say, oh, you know what? I could probably nail that a little bit better. I could dance a little bit better. I could bring a little bit more. We always have. And it's beautiful to push yourself to say, do I have more in me? I do. You've come a long way, baby. I mean, we're showing you pictures from choir, and we didn't even mention this. You worked on a cruise line also. How long was this?
oh my goodness, that was my very first cruise contract. I was 21,
Mm,
and that was in 2019. And I worked for a Norwegian cruise line, and that was on the Pride of America in Hawaii.
awesome.
Yes. And actually, so going back just a little bit to like honing your craft,
Mhm.
you actually have a picture from my time in Aladdin of me in my friend like me costume,
Mhm.
with a book, right there on the stairs.
Uh-huh.
And that notebook, I still have it with me. I started doing this thing where every show I would I would take my notebook and I would write down like Friend Like Me or Arabian Nights, and I would write down notes for myself
Hmm.
to keep myself accountable. Like, oh, you were definitely not going as low as you possibly could on like whenever you were supposed to do that lunge, or you were definitely like taking the easy road whenever you did that jump. So it's like you wanted to be in a show, so
Yep.
do the show.
Well, you know what? And you just stated something that when I work with my personal training clients or I life coach or I do motivational speaking, it's always how do you ever really see yourself without transferring the thought process here down on paper? Journaling is such a cathartic experience, a beautiful blessing to yourself when you look back and go, wow, I got to give myself some grace. I did this and then I did this. So before we wrap up, Nate, I want to ask you the piece de resistance. What would that be for you? Because you dreamed, right? We're going to go back 10 years ago. We move forward. You did Aladdin. You're doing Hamilton. Can't wait again. We'll give you the information on how you can go and see Nate and the rest of the cast with Hamilton. But what would be the dream for you?
Oh goodness. Well, I want to move into directing. So for me, the goal as of right now, I of course want to move forward and like maybe pursue other shows, but I'm very happy where I am right now. Um
And you should
uh
be. But directing, I
and
love the idea of directing.
yeah, directing, being an associate choreographer. I've had the chance to dance captain on cruise ships before, so being able to kind of like see the bigger picture of the stage and the show itself is something that I've always loved. But I know that I I want to keep, I get I guess, mentorship. Like I always want to keep that with me,
Yep.
no matter what I'm doing. So I always want to find time to come back to St. Louis, and to whatever other community would have me, but specifically St. Louis, to speak to the kids there and keep that dream alive for our town because we have so much talent.
Oh, yes.
And I would love for all of it to be recognized.
Absolutely. Again, I hope in this wrap up that you hear the message that Nate and I have been talking about. Again, it's the journey to this point and then never ever seeing that there's an end point. There's always another path that you can take. And if debris gets thrown in your way, figure out a way to get around it. Don't let anybody stand in your way. Have the hard work, have the respect, the ethics, the morality, no entitlement, right? And the determination and passion, and watch whatever your dream may be. And as Nate said, maybe it's not in the arts, it's any aspect that you can transfer this. So when we do these shows, it's all about see yourself in the story and then ignite that passion and that fuel all over again. So September 8th is when it's going to wrap up, but you have from August 28th to September 8th to see Hamilton at the fabulous Fox Theater. Showtimes Tuesday through Friday evenings at 7:30. Saturday afternoons at 2, Saturday evenings at 8, and then Sunday afternoons at 1, and they have Sunday evening show at 7:30. There is a matinee performance, by the way, on Thursday, August 29th at 1 p.m., and ticket prices start at $39. You can go to the box office or check it out online again. Fabulous Fox. I'm so proud of you. I cannot wait to see you. I'll be there on opening night. And we'll
Oh,
see Nate play in Hamilton on one of the most fabulous stages. We are so blessed, by the way, to have the Fox, right? I mean, what a
yes.
stunning place in and of itself. Exactly. Nathanael Hirst, Nate, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'm so
Course.
thrilled for our audience to see you. And yeah, I hope we can have you on again another time for you to say, guess what, Monica? Now I've done this.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. I'd love to
Fantastic.
be back.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that.
Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? See you. Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey. You're close.
Monica. Whoa.
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind.
So you can always log on to that website, TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and find out new and exciting things that we're doing, including our calendar of events. We mentioned once again, we would love to see you live, where we bring the show to your town, Pacific, Missouri. We're coming after you. September 12th, we will be at the Landing Hub once again, that wonderful boutique hotel. They also own the Cigar Vault. So 4:30 to 6 p.m. right here, the Landing Hub. Look it up. Click on the links that my moderators have placed for you. And check this out. Maybe you want to book it for an upcoming wedding. Maybe you want to have a conference there. And again, cool pool, as you can see there on the right-hand side. Then the big 400th celebration, major giveaways, raising money for our first responders, all of it taking place at this place, if you haven't heard of it. So Circle 6 Acres, the farm, is just a few miles down the road in Defiance, Missouri, and they have their new restaurant. It's called The Watering Hole, and that's where we're going to be. Again, I'm calling it badges, beef, and maybe a little bourbon, whatever you want, maybe a beer. Just have some fun with us and raise big money for those heroes in our community. All right, let me see. Kathy said it was Oprah that spoke at the DNC. Didn't know that. That was cool. Marilyn went to Fontbonne. Linda, the original Springs Hotel, that's what it was called, again, in Oakville, said to be haunted. Oh, I'm glad that I didn't see any ghosts when I was there enjoying the springs. Julie said she loves Oakville. Yeah, Michelle was saying that it's a metal couch, the couch inside of the landing hub that I showed you from the Taj Mahal. It's really comfortable because it is contoured. The way it's, the way that it's made, even though it is metal, it is absolutely comfortable. You got to come out and sit on it and just enjoy time. I would bring your kids out to this one. They are going to be so excited to see the rooms that they will want to stay in, maybe for a little staycation. Dennis, good morning to you. My dad loves his Cubans. Oh, there we go. Dennis, bring your dad out to enjoy a good cigar at the Cigar Vault. You have to say choo-choo. I didn't go to college, but I follow the Minnesota Gophers, but I watch Illinois and Missouri. Next year's my 50th high school reunion. How cool is that? St. Paul, Minnesota, the Packers. Way to go, Steph. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Would love to have my wife's all-natural business promoted. You're 2 hours away. That doesn't matter, Dennis. I hope you're still on. If not, I'll reach out to you. We mentioned that we can take this show anywhere. We did a mobile Monica, kind of kick these things off all around our area, but then we went to Kansas City, featured, and hopefully we could actually go back to Kansas City and do a full-blown show there. Jay Rieger and Company, really cool place in Kansas City. And we started thinking it doesn't matter where we are. I'm going to do a couple shows in Mexico and do a couple shows in Italy. So it doesn't matter. You're 2 hours away from St. Louis. That's an easy drive to go see some natural products. So Dennis, reach out to me. Let's see. Yep. Wonderful. Love Hamilton. Okay, good. Didn't you enjoy that? Nate's such a cool guy. Such an amazing show, and the cast is amazing. I saw it twice. Excited for Nate living out his dream. I know, so amazing. If you have a talent and you have a dream, follow your gut. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Persevere, keep climbing. Even if you fall, get up and do not lose sight of your dream. Amazing young man, Marilyn said. And I went over to Instagram and I saw Jeannie Baumgartner was on earlier and said that Beckett does a great job. What a brilliant young man. And then she said, your mama is so darling. Yes, I'm thrilled to have such a great friendship with her. That's amazing. Go, Nate. Way to go, Nate, Dennis says. Congratulations, Nate, living out the dream. Kathleen says Nate is such an inspiration. JT Thomas, good morning. Where are you watching from? Love that you want to share your journey with others as a mentor. Congratulations. That's the thing that I really loved about him. Sorry, did not really realize the emojis moved. I didn't see them. Amen, Dennis says. Well, Dennis is still on. Thank you. Dennis, do me a favor. Shoot me an email. I'm going to wrap up here in just a couple of minutes. And let's come. I think I saw it was Paris, Missouri. Is that a location that your wife has? Let's do it. Let's bring the show on the road wherever we want to go. Everyone, I hope you are going to have a wonderful weekend. Again, take care of yourself and others around you. It's going to be extremely hot next week. Beckett was mentioning 98, 99 as we get into midweek next week, but we're going to be in the 90s this weekend. Whatever you're doing, enjoy. I'm going to be touring Augusta, Missouri, going to a bunch of the wineries, going on a gator tour, going on the Miss Augusta cruise. We're going to go over to Root and give them some business. If you haven't been, a wonderful restaurant that's in Augusta, Missouri. Right around town on some bikes, go over to the Augusta Clothing Company, which, by the way, I've been talking to the owner and telling her that we need to come and do a fashion show there. I think she's interested in that. So don't know what you're doing this weekend, but if you want to give a shout out to anybody, feel free to do so now or in the replay. And let me wrap up with this. Jesus Calling. By the way, Marilyn, thank you for the new book that you dropped off for us at Yuppie Puppy yesterday. I love it. I can't wait to read more excerpts from that. And then we saw the really amazing, and I can't wait. I'm going to put it on set, actually. Marilyn gave us this cool picture frame, but it's what it says on it that I'll read to you when we get back on set, because it's going to become part of our set for sure. You're just so sweet. Thank you for paying it forward, the kindness that I always ask for everybody to do. So this is, again, from Sarah Young, Jesus Calling. Entrust your loved ones to me. Release them into my protective care. They are much safer with me than in your clinging hands. If you let a loved one become an idol in your heart, you endanger that one as well as yourself. Joseph and his father Jacob suffered terribly because Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other sons and treated him with special favor. So Joseph's brothers hated him and plotted against him. Ultimately, I used that situation for good, but both father and son had to endure years of suffering and separation from one another. I detest idolatry, even in the form of parental love. So beware of making a beloved child your idol. When you release loved ones to me, you are free to cling to my hand. As you entrust others into my care, I am free to shower blessings on them. My presence will go with them wherever they go, and I will give them rest. This same presence stays with you as you relax and place your trust in me. Watch to see what I will do. And I know a lot of people say that they have this, so you may have already read that this morning. Maybe that's how you start your day. It's a beautiful way to start, by the way, with a little meditation, prayer, peace of mind, clarity, writing your intentional word of the day. Mine today is peace. Peace for myself, my family, my friends, and for our entire world, because we need more of that. And then tonight, finding a little gratitude after the experiences that I have with some dear friends that I've known since I was 15 years old. Spending time with those you love, creating incredible memories. It's the best thing that you can do, because after all, that's truly what we remember. It's not the things you buy, it's the time spent. I love you all so very much. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Whatever you do, greet somebody new, give them a compliment. Again, continue to pay forward the one major thing that I ask you to do, and that is to be kind. God bless you all.